Hello friends, welcome back to this video. In this video, we'll be talking about the pulse shaping. I have already introduced the inter-symbol interference in the case of binary signals in my previous video. I hope you all have seen that video. If not, I recommend you strongly to watch that first, because here I am just going to talk about the Nyquist distortionless condition, which is the extension of my previous video itself. So I hope you remember I was talking about the transmitter, the channel and the receiver, and I have already talked about the various filters which are present. So I have already talked about this transmit filter, how it is impacting the pulse amplitude modulating signal. After that, the channel transfer function and the white Gaussian noise, as well as the receiver transfer function. So at the output I got yt is equal to mu ai. So this is my desired signal, and this was mu summation over k ak pi minus k into tb. So this was the residue component due to different signals on the present signal. So this is my ISI component, and this is the noise. So now we'll be observing how all these things are required to generate the Nyquist distortionless condition. So first of all, what is Nyquist distortionless condition? So according to the Nyquist, so this equation represents the Nyquist distortionless condition. So this equation have this component pi minus k into tb. So it is responsible for inter-symbol interference, and according to the Nyquist distortionless condition will happen only when pi minus k tb is equal to 1, when I is equal to k, and otherwise it is 0. So when I is not equal to k, pi minus k into tb is equal to 0. So now if I take I minus k is equal to n, so now this equation will be changed. So now how I can represent this equation? So I have taken I minus k is equal to n. So p of n tb is equal to 1. So now when I minus k is 0, so when I take this k this side, so condition will become I minus k is equal to 0, which is n equal to 0. So now the condition is p and tb is equal to 1 when n is equal to 0 and it is 0 otherwise. So now this is the simplified Nyquist equation. So here if I take this term and if I see the sampling output, because here at the output what is done, here the sampling is done. So now I hope you remember from the sampling equation. So from the sampling equation, St was equal to summation over n. So n is changing from minus infinity to infinity, del of t minus n tb. Similarly, if I find out S of f, it is equal to fb summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity del f minus nfb. So now if I want to represent this S of f in the simplified form, so what will I do? fb is 1 upon tb. So here n summation over n, so del f minus n upon tb. Now I know what is 1 upon tb. 1 upon tb is given as rb. So it is equal to rb summation over n, this is del f minus n rb. So now I hope all of the things are clear up to here. So now what is happening? So in the time domain, if I see the pulse pt, so here I'll be having the sampled output. So the sampled output will be the pulse multiplied with the sampling function. So here it is multiplied with st. So n is equal to minus infinity to infinity del t minus n tb. So this is my PST. So now if I have to represent this PST in another form, so I can represent it as n is equal to minus infinity to infinity P of n TB summation I have already taken. So del T minus n TB. So now this is my PST, sampled pulse output, which is produced here. So now if I observe this PST in the frequency domain, if I have any signal in the time domain and if I need to convert it into the frequency domain, why I am converting it? I'll be seeing it with respect to this sampled function in the frequency domain. So here I must convert the PST into PSF. So what is PSF? I'll take the Fourier transform of PST. So it will be equal to minus infinity to infinity PST e raised to power minus j 2 pi ft dt. So this is the equation of the Fourier transform. So what I'll do, I'll be just putting the value of PST over here. So PSF equal to minus infinity to infinity integration. So here we have summation over n P n TB multiplied with del T minus n TB into e raised to power minus j 2 pi ft dt. So now the task is to simplify this equation. So now here if I observe this equation closely, so here we have P of n TB. So here we have P of n TB. So it is 1 only when n is equal to 0. So now here it is 0 otherwise. So I just have one value of n, which is n is equal to 0. Otherwise PSF, so PSF is equal to 1 at n is equal to 0. Otherwise PSF is equal to 0. So this is PS n TB, sorry. So now PS n TB is 1 at n is equal to 0 and PSF will become 0 because P n TB is 0. When 0 is multiplied with anything, this will become 0. So now we are not concerned about any of the n except 0. So it is just valid for n is equal to 0 and at that time this is 1. So now here I'll replace this. So PSF is equal to minus infinity to infinity. So this is 1 multiplied with del of T minus 0 into TB. So n is 0, I just replaced it, e raised to power minus j 2 pi ft dt. So now here it is equal to minus infinity to infinity del of T e raised to power minus j 2 pi ft dt. So when I multiply del of T with e raised to power minus j 2 pi ft dt and I integrate it over minus infinity to infinity, I hope you remember the property of the del function. The impulse function is only present at t is equal to 0, otherwise it is 0. So now this function is only present at t is equal to 0. So now when I put t is equal to 0, I'll be getting 1. So now e raised to power minus 0 will be 1. So this is already 1 at 0. Otherwise this will become 0 and the whole function will become 0. So now here I hope you understood PSF is equal to 1. Now if I observe the PSF from the sampling equation, so PSF is equal to it is equal to P of F convolution with S of F. So now here I hope you can see directly what is S of F. S of F is So now here what is PS of F? PS of F is 1. I'll just put the value of PSF, which is 1. PF I have already taken like PF only because I don't know the value of PF. Now here I replace the value of SF. SF was RB summation over N del F minus NRB. Now I know the property of some function convolved with the del function. So here it will be equal to 1 is equal to RB summation over N P of F minus NRB. So now from here if I take R this side, so summation over N P of F minus NRB is equal to 1 upon RB. So this is called the last Nyquist distortionless condition. So this is also used for shaping the pulse. So 1 upon RB is the limiting factor over which I have to do the summation of PF minus and RB. So I hope you understood this derivation. If you still have any doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment and I'll try to resolve it as soon as possible. I hope you like this video. If you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe the channel and push the like button. Thank you.